interest of Pellervo, and of course joint actions. Shortly, developing and lobbying. Here in this slide you can see our organization. There is Pellervo, but there is also so-called joint-only owned organization. If we calculate all together, there is about 50 official in Pellervo system. It's rather good amount of stuff. The most famous of our organization is nowadays, I think, Pellervo Research, Economical Research Institute. We have about 300 members in Pellervo in all business branches of economy. We connect together the cooperative sector in Finland, all sectors in Finland. Practically all the farmers' cooperatives are members. 2/3 of cooperatives banks are members, and both of mutual insurance companies. The small cooperatives are not direct members, but we have good connections with them because they need so much our services, and there is good. We have rather good connections. Small cooperatives all over the country. Our roots are in countryside, but we represent and serve all kind of cooperatives in cities and rural areas. Pellervo represents its members in international organizations. For farmers' cooperatives, we have European COSECA in Brussels. For Nordic connections, we have NBC, and we have been member in ICA over 110 years now. Global World Farmers Organization is 2 years old, new organization. We are member in it, but we also hope that that organization will take the cooperative issues in its agenda. Shortly about history. In the beginning, 113 years ago, there was a cooperative idea from Great Britain and Germany, Central Europe. Modern capitalism, its lights and shadows, growing socialism, and the great power Russian Empire, and strengthening nationalism in Finland. The introduction of cooperative cooperation in Finland was connected to struggle for autonomy. Finland was autonomy, but in the Russian Empire we have had own administration, languages, laws, money, and post. The Finns were sure that so-called February Manifesto in 1899 meant Russification and withdrawal of autonomy. In those days, intellectuals, professors, so on, mobilized the cooperative movement from the top level to grassroots level to strengthen the Finnish society. That political situation created the momentum to cooperative movement, and that was the start. Every popular movement needed symbols, icons and stories. The most important person in Finnish cooperative movement was and is Dr. Hannes Gebhard. He worked in Helsinki University as a specialist of agrarian and agriculture policy. He was like one of you here today. Why did cooperation spread so quickly after interaction? Pelleri worked hard to spread cooperation. Spokesmen were sent all over the country, and we have of course good guidebooks and so on. There was clear social demand for cooperation, especially in rural areas. There were no services or of poor quality, overpriced goods, weak competition, no credit system, no market for agricultural goods for small farmers. Cooperation was simply a good solution. Movement connected to farmers and workers movement. How about today? What is Finnish cooperative sector? In this table, you can see the biggest Finnish cooperatives in different business branches. It's typical in Finland, like generally in Northern Europe, that we have rather few but strong cooperatives compared the size of our economy and population. They operate internationally to get power and economy of scale in open market economy. They are rather practical. They use all the possible means to keep the speed. They use limited companies as a subsidiarity. But the cooperative ideology, it comes from their mission. This is important. If you look at the market shares, it is the big thing. Speciality is that we have strong cooperatives in different sector in our economy. Farmers' co-ops, banks, mutuals, retailers, so on. Maybe this is one of the reasons why Finland has been rather a harmonious society in last decades. I don't argue that Finland would be the cooperative paradise. Many people take the cooperative enterprises as a self-evident part of the environment, or they have not talked about this kind of questions, or they simply don't care about this. There is 7 million membership in Finland. The whole population are part of this movement, but of course you can understand that only part of them understood deeply what is the idea of this kind of enterprises. When we take the whole population, there is 2.1 membership per person. It's typical that one family have many memberships. Farmers have much more membership than average. They have 4.1 membership per farmer. Nearly all are on board. If we take, for example, milking farm, there can be 10 memberships. How about farmers' cooperatives? First things first. Farming is in Finland family farming. the role of farmers' cooperatives are secure the markets for the agricultural products. Cooperatives set the standards and price level on the market, which also the other private companies must follow. The cooperatives have to be strong, otherwise this don't work. In 20 years, there has been strong structural changes, especially in dairy and meat cooperatives. Our specialty is cooperative hybrids. This is model where primary cooperative owns a public limited company. The public limited company owns the factories, marketing and consumer brands. Why this model is useful? It is the way to gain capital to make the business grow. It is also the way to operate in multinational business environment. In 90s, this was also a tool to take distance to old-fashioned cooperative business culture. It's a fact. In cooperative sector, 3 out of the 4 public limited companies are in farmers' hands nowadays. In this model, you have to collect enough capital to keep control on the public limited company. You have to have exact owner policy. You also have to keep balance between interest of private ownerships, investors and producer of raw material. It's new way to run business, and farmers have to be exact in their owner's policy. In banking sector, there are customer owns enterprises. The biggest is OP Pohjola Group. The smaller is POP Group. It uses birth leaf symbol. It's not so famous than OP Pohjola Group and its symbols. But we have 2 groups, bank groups, cooperative bank groups. S Group has their own bank for its members. It's some 4 or 5 years old bank. Mutuals Tapiola and Lähivakuutus have fusion next year. They have also bank. The tendency is that there are many customer-owned banks in Finnish market for ordinary citizens, and those compete with each other using different kind of new service innovations. One professor in Finland said to me that this must be heaven for the customers. Hope so. But really we have 4 different customer-owned banks, and I think that's enough for Finnish markets. Consumer cooperatives are strong. S Group is the market leader in many branches. Tradeka Cooperative operate mostly in hotel and restaurant business. Tradeka's background is in workers' movement, and this group has serious problems in 90s, but now it's in rather good shape. Both cooperative groups operate in all over the Finland, in countryside and urban areas, and this is the power for them. Here you can see our cooperative idea. There is strong cooperatives in different sectors of society. The citizen can choose all the cooperatives fits to her or his life and occupation. They seem to be happy and there is harmony in society. We really have something in our own hands. Approximately 200 new cooperatives are established every year in various branches of economy in urban and rural areas. This is 1% of all enterprises. It should be more, and there is possibilities. Approximately 3,000 new cooperatives has established in 20 years. That has been important for the whole cooperative movement. It's the part of the society and part of the new economy, and that is important message to society. There are many socio-economical reasons to this. Massive unemployment in 90s, especially in the 90s, willingness to organize work in a new way. Rural areas have lost especially young people, and something new must be done. It's important also that common attitude toward entrepreneurship is more positive than earlier. It has been crucial that we have had pioneers, experts, researchers like Tapani Köppä, guidebooks, a modern cooperative law, and also that cooperatives has been part of school system in recent years. All those positive things has affect this good way to go ahead. In this slide you can find business branches of new cooperatives. The biggest are water co-ops and workers co-ops. But there is also marketing co-ops, culture, publishing and media co-ops. Especially for young people are interested in this kind of new enterprises. Purchasing co-ops, social, health and welfare co-ops, travel service co-ops, energy co-ops, development co-ops, and so on, in different branches. Today cooperatives are also used as a tool for training in entrepreneurship in Finnish colleges. This educational model where the students form, run and develop cooperatives for marketing their skills has proven to be very successful. This team learning is a new pedagogical method. This model has been exported to colleges and universities in several other countries, and I have heard that it is also in Brazil in Southern America. But this is real innovation in Finnish school system. How about factors for successful cooperative movement in Finland? First things first. There are 4 basic points. First, stability of society. Second, modern legislation, good governance in cooperatives, and no corruption. It's good environment for businesses. We have consensus, harmony, and the long tradition in cooperative movement. And the co-ops have always been part of private entrepreneurship and market economy. There have never been a state-guided co-ops in Finnish economy. The rules and the regulation has been satisfactory. On the other hand, the officials knows better the other enterprise model than in cooperative model. This is typical in Finland. And this is problem in Finland. They used to forget the co-ops. It's reality. Work is still needed also in education of all level and in research. It's crucial that the cooperative movement has found its place in changing economic system at least 4 times. Cooperative movement has founded over 100 years ago in era of liberalism. The era of protectionism in the 20th century was long, 70 years. Also, cooperative operated behind the border barrier. This was before integrational policy. EU membership, globalization have forced the co-ops to find the competitive advantage in a new way. The cooperation culture of co-ops fits to close economy, has changed culture to fit to that modern market economy. And this has been essential. We can say that the cooperative movement has created its skins many times like a snake. Democratic ownership means that it has taken time in every round. Unfortunately, in some cases, too much time. We have had some co-ops, big cooperatives, who has had so difficult economical problems that they have lost their position in market. We can say that consumer co-ops knows their members. S-Group has worked hard to reach its position as a market leader. Fusion, regional co-ops, chain thinking, closing the old social class borders, new corporate culture, for example. And local cooperative banks and mutual insurance companies have real competitive advantage. People of all occupational groups, like in S-Group, are members, not only farmers. They are working all over Finland, also in distant rural areas. The local co-ops knows the customers and circumstances. There is rather quick personal service if somebody have trouble. Also, the cooperative groups offer the whole service package, bank and insurance services at the same office. Also, the farmers' co-ops have found their competitive advantage. Farmers or members have understood that the successful co-ops are their own benefit. Co-ops are in the same chain than their farms. They are on the same side of the table. That's important. Farmers knows that co-op have to be competitive in market. They sell what the consumer wants to buy. Otherwise, somebody else do that. We need research and development and the pragmatic attitude to organize the business structures. There has been successful internationalization to get the broader market area and volume benefits. Finland is a small market, that's the fact. Metsäliitto is one of the biggest forest industry group in the world. Its 5 business areas include wood supply, wood products industry, pulp production, and producing of paperboard as well as tissue paper. We have some common cooperative cultural questions which are very crucial for all the cooperatives, and they are sharper corporate governance, second, modern attitude to the economy of Coop, and the common idea of the cooperative movement. When the open market economy was a reality in the 90s, we set up one question: what is a cooperative? It takes time to answer to this. It is still a good exercise. What is cooperative? And now we try to find an answer with university researchers globally. Of course, you Estonians are part of that ring, but this is hot question, I think so. Modern attitude to economy of the Coops means that cooperative is an enterprise. The products and services must be so good that consumer wants to buy them. The Coop has to be profitable. So it can develop its works. The efficiency have to be maximized. The Coops needs capital. The member have to understand this. When they take care of their Coops, the Coops can take care of their members. That's the idea. We can say that the common idea of cooperative movements helps forward still today, like 100 years ago. Together, we will be stronger. Solidarity is still alive in the open market economy. As we said in 30s, we don't have Carnegie, that was that steel capitalist in USA, or Rockefeller, oil capitalist in USA, but we have cooperative movement, and that was rather good idea. Cooperative movement is still a way to get small power to greater power. It's old way, but it still works and will work. The national organization of cooperative movement, like Pellervo, have worked for cooperative idea, values, principles, services and lobby, even if it has not always been so popular in society. But now it is much easier than, for example, 10 years ago. How about the future? We are optimistic. Our aim is to build up or strengthen modern cooperative ecosystem. I have learned new word, ecosystem, where different specialists in their own field proceed the cooperative model. cooperative leaders in enterprises, cooperative entrepreneurs, officials, teachers, students, researchers, advisors. There are hundreds of people who have the flame in their heart. We have to find them, and we have found. It is the most important that we have also young people with us. In the beginning, 100 years ago, it was the young generation who took the responsibility. Why not now? Cooperation have to be the first choice for their members. Otherwise, we don't need co-ops. We have to give a positive spin to the cooperation. We have to promote cooperative advantage of cooperative enterprises, competitive advantage of cooperative enterprises. We have to make cooperation interesting and known. We have to improve conditions for cooperation and strengthen cooperative entrepreneurship. This is not self-evident. From 60s to 80s, the spin was negative. And this has created a long shadow over the cooperatives. Many middle-aged specialists are not familiar with cooperative enterprise model, and that is the problem. We have to change this. Why this happened in 60s and 70s? Maybe quick urbanization cut the roots to workers and farmers movement. New middle class didn't have the idea of cooperative movement. And also groups were in many cases unable to change their strategies in modern well-being society. Those groups were children of poor times and agricultural society. So what to do in new urban society, and that was a problem. There was crisis in 80s. What does this all mean? We have to communicate about values, principles, business model. Who are we? We have good allies, United Nations, we have Cooperative Year this year, and we have also ICA, the biggest organization in the world, about 1 million members in those organizations, which ICA Unite. We have to keep contacts with government and public sector. It's essential. Also, for good arguments, we need strong, big and old cooperatives, and also creative new cooperatives. We have to prove that this model is good model for economy and for the future. We have to develop the business model with our cooperative ecosystem. Those who has the flame. For example, university researchers and teachers. We need all those components. We need this whole ecosystem so we can go forward. We need all of us. Tänan, kiitos.
Aitäh. Et Soome puhul on siis väidetavalt tegemist maailma kõige ühistegelikuma riigiga ja eile siis toimus ka konverentsi korraldajate ja siis Soome delegatsiooni vahel väike õhtusöök ja seal me vahetasime ka siis mõtteid, et ühistegevuse pooltunniga järgmisel aastal kindlasti soovime minna ka Soome erinevatesse siis ühistutesse külla ja teha siis seal kohe õige mitu saadet ära, mida oleks siis siin hea Soome ühistegevuse näitest näidata. Aga nüüd liigume edasi kohaliku omavalitsuse teemadeni ja kõigepealt annan sõna Aare Vabamägile, Eesti Omavalitsuste Liidu nõunikule, kes räägib meile kohaliku omavalitsuse probleemidest. Palun.
Tere pealelõunat. Juhtus niimoodi, et panin ennast kirja, et siin saalis viibida ja kuulata hoolega ettekandeid, aga eile õhtul paluti mul hoopis lavale astuda, nii et tegin kiiruga oma ettekande ja võib-olla mõned mõtted on veel natuke toored, aga loodan, et nad seda enam aitavad ärgitada mõtlemist. Olen siis Eesti Omavalitsuste Liidu nõunik ja teema oli juba ette antud kohaliku omavalitsuse probleemid. Mõtted, mis ma täna teiega tahaksin jagada, on siis järgnevad. Kõigepealt Omavalitsuste Liidust kui ühistust, siis natukene toetatud ühistegevusest, sundühistegevusest mõnede näidete varal ja mõningaid ideid, millised võiks olla ühistulised tegevused omavalitsuse poole pealt vaadatuna. Meie liidus on täna 129 liiget, 129 omavalitsust. Ja nagu te näete, mis on selle liidu eesmärk, siis minu arust vastab täielikult sellise ühistustandard tegevusele ehk mõttele, et ühistegevuse kaudu üldisele arengule kaasaitamine, ühiste huvide kaitsmine, koostöö edendamine ja just nimelt ülesannete ja nii-öelda ette antud ülesannete paremaks täitmiseks ja võimaluste loomiseks selleks. Millises valdkonnas omavalitsused siiamaani on edukalt ühiselt tegutsenud, neid võib siin nimetada näiteks jäätmekäitluse, piirkondade loomine ja jäätmejaamad, veeettevõtted, näete, tänavad on igal pool üles kaevatud selleks, et elanikel oleks puhas vesi, omavalitsused teevad selles osas väga palju koostööd. On loodud ja ilmselt on ka tulevikus perspektiivikad ühistranspordikeskused, et lahendada ära kohaliku transpordiprobleemid. Ja igasugused järelevalved, mis on pandud seadusega omavalitsuse peale, on ka mõistlik tihti teha koostöös, mitte üks omavalitsus, vaid näiteks üle mitme omavalitsuse. Ja nüüd veidikene ka probleemidest. Kahjuks ei ole omavalitsuse tulubaasis ette nähtud ega ka piisavalt võimalusi ja vahendeid, et toetada ettevõtlust koha peal. Ja võib-olla on see minu isiklik seisukoht, aga ma tean, et paljud ka toetavad mind, et tegelikult puudub selline otsene regionaalne poliitika Eestis täna, mis võimaldaks omavalitsuse kaudu või omavalitsustel koha peal ettevõtlust arendada. Me räägime küll valdade liitmisest ja lahutamisest, aga sellist vahendit, kus tekiks juurde ettevõtlust või töökohti maal, otseselt riigipoolset tuge seal väga näha ei ole. On võimalik küll, nagu ka põllumajandusminister rääkis, läbi põllumajandustoetuste ja Euroopa Liidu toetuste, läbi liidrite ja muude programmide sellist põllumajanduslikku tegevust aktiveerida, aga maaelu on midagi muud ka peale põllumajandus, seal on veel palju teisi tegevusi. Toetatud ühistegevusest. Väga paljud, te teate, on sadu ilusaid külakeskusi loodud Euroopa Liidu toel. Mina arvan, et üks väga hea idee oleks nendesse külakeskustesse luua siis ka ettevõtlikkuse keskused järgmiste programmirahade eest. Et see tore ja olemasolev ja köetud hoone saaks ka nii-öelda sisu selleks, et sealt hakkaks kasvama see kohapealse teenuse või ühise mõtlemise idee, mitte ainult jõulude ajal, vaid jaanipäeval seal koos käia, vaid võib-olla keegi leiab seal kaugtöökoha ja käiakse koos nii-öelda ka nõu pidamas, mida oma piirkonnas või kogukonnas ette võtta, et mõned probleemid lahendada või et oleks seal maakohas tulusam elada ja parem elada. Natuke sellest sundühistegevusest. Ma pean siin silmas seda, et nii-öelda nõukogude ajal ju sunniti selle ühise vara baasil kolhoosia sofoosia tegema. Selle mõju ühiskonnale ja ilmselt ka maaühiskonnale, võib-olla on uuritud, aga põllumajandusminister tõi siin ühe väga niisuguse ekstreemse näite, et selle sirbi ja vasala sealt peast välja saamine on väga keeruline. Et see 50 aastat on teda küllaltki sügavale sinna sisse ikkagi surunud. Ja eks selle taha on võib-olla jäänud ka see ettevõtlikkuse, otsustusvõime ja ise mõtlemise puudumine. Ja juttu oli ka juba sellest põllumajandusreformi järgsete ühistute olemusest, et see oli nagu nii-öelda anti sulle oma osak kätte, pidid sellega üle öö piltlikult muutuma palgatöölisest omanikuks ja võite kinnitada või ümber lükata, mina väidan, et väga paljudest nendest ühistust ei ole midagi järgi. Ikkagi varad läksid lõpuks nende kätte, kes olid ettevõtlikumad ja sellega midagi teha oskasid. Kahjuks me kaotasime väga palju vahendeid selle vara omandi vaidluse üle. Ühes väikses asulas, kus mina pärit olen, läks ütleme siis krooni alguses üle 1 miljoni Eesti krooni ainult juristide vaheliste dokumentide tootmiseks, et vaielda varahoidjaga, kas traktor on tervikvara või ei ole, kas mootor on eraldi vara, kui traktor on tervikvara ja nii edasi. Et kohutavalt palju vahendeid kaotasime sinna, siis kui kroon oli tegelikult veel väga väärtuslik raha. Ehk siis 1 miljon krooni konkreetselt ühest asulast läks lihtsalt linnaisadele paberi tootmiseks. Ilmselt neid näiteid on ka teistes asulates. Aga mis on positiivne? Kolhoosid ja sofoosid tootsid meile suurel hulgal ühiseid hooneid, mida ilmselt, kui ei oleks nõukogude aega, ei oleks sellises mahus ja sellises arvus üldse olemas. Ei oleks kindlasti nii palju uhkeid koolimaju, lasteaedu, ujulaid, spordihooneid, raamatukogusid, vallamajasid. Siit tuleb ka õnn ja õnnetus koos.